Welcome, everybody. My name is Steve Kuchin. I'm a holistic health practitioner here in San Diego, California. And welcome to Saturday Training. Today we're going to talk about our Aalere bracelet. This bracelet is something else, but before I do, let me do a little bit of housekeeping. The statements made in this presentation have not been evaluated by the FDA. Nothing in this presentation should be construed as diagnosing, prescribing, or treating disease. It is presented for education only. We legally warn you that if you are ill, have any disease, are pregnant or nursing, you should consult your medical doctor before attempting any natural or herbal program. Now, we have the most advanced 5G protection with our Aalere bracelet. And what is this bracelet? It's made out of stainless steel, and that is where we have our frequencies that we imbue into the stainless steel, which actually help protect the body. The body is very susceptible to radiation and to communication from its environment. And Dr. Oshman says here, our cells in our body are very sensitive to energy fields, and they are amplifiers, and they listen to whispers from their environment. Our bodies and cells respond much more to subtle stimuli than to violent stimuli, so this involves feather-like, very gentle applications of organized energy with information and frequency and coded information that is appropriate to stimulate the cells, to do repair, and to deliver electrons to the site of inflammation. Our usual way is to do battle like, for example, a war on cancer where we lost that war. Why use a hammer when a feather will do the job, says Dr. Oshman. This is an example of what a cell structure looks like. You have these ligands, which are signaling molecules, and you have a receptor. This receptor sends via protein signaling molecules to your genome, and then the genome produces the appropriate response, like in relation for building a structure, for building cellular membranes, for autoimmune pathways having to do with your body. So this is a very sensitive system, and we have really now found out in this with electronics and so forth and modern electronic equipment how our cells actually work. It's just actually amazing. We are a big communication network. Now, the advent of 5G, we, with our children and our whole society, is inundated. Everybody, for example, in a densely populated city, has a cell phone on, and this has caused a saturation. Now we're running with usually 4G network, but because of COVID, there is a huge, there's so much attention on COVID that nobody is paying attention to the 5G right now, okay? It's sort of, and they're trying to get it out into the public as fast as possible, the telecommunication company. All EMFs are biologically active. Now, our cells are inundated from wherever we are. They're inundated at football games. They're inundated in our electronic cars. These cell towers are posted practically every second telephone post in your neighborhood. Now, there is a recent study done by the New Hampshire Commission to study the environmental health effects in evolving 5G. And this is from 13 experts from epidemiology, occupational health, toxicology, physics, and engineering, plus one wireless industry expert, except the industry rep agreed RF radiation coming from wireless devices, all those experts except the industry rep agreed RF radiation coming from wireless devices affects human, animals, and insects. The newest data from the New Hampshire Legislative Commission confirms wireless technology produces significant negative effects on human, animals, insects, and plants. The race for hyper-fast internet speed and connectivity, experts are making comparisons between the release of 5G and the lies told by the tobacco and the oil industry. The structure required to support 5G will place like I mentioned before, cell antenna ports close to your home and workplace, making it nearly impossible to avoid and raising your risk of excessive oxidative stress that may lead to anxiety, depression, and Alzheimer's. It is important to get involved in helping to prevent the implementation of 5G by contacting your local lawmakers and signing local petitions. Now, this whole onslaught of 5G is flying under the radar because of the COVID epidemic. And the rollout is a hyper-fast speed 5G wireless network. As millions of Americans are suddenly working remotely, it has proven to be a powerful opportunity for the regulators to move 5G forward. Of course, who doesn't want faster speeds? But then, again, on the other hand, I love fast speed, but then at the loss of your health, it is actually not really acceptable. Now, why thousands of peer-reviewed radio frequencies studies that show a wide range of health effects, including DNA damage, brain and heart tumors, infertility, and many other ailments have been ignored by the Federal Communications Commission. Excuse me. Why the FCC guidelines do not account for health effects of wireless technology? Why the FCC RF limit are 100 times higher than those in other countries? Why the FCC is ignoring the World Health Organization classification of wireless as a possible carcinogen? Why, when the world's leading scientists signed an appeal to protect public health from wireless radiation, nothing has been done? There is mounting evidence that DNA damage can occur from radiation outside of the ionizing part of the spectrum. The Commission heard arguments on both sides of this issue, with many saying there are findings showing biological effects in this range. The argument gets amplified as millimeter waves within the microwave range are beginning to be utilized. Safety is taking a backseat to speed. In much the same way the tobacco industry convinced the public that smoking was not dangerous, so is the telecommunication industry selling the public on speed over safety. In the interview, this interview above with Greater Earth Media, IT professor John Humphrey made the glaring obvious comparison between the actions of telecommunication, tobacco, and lead gas industry, saying, so they know the technology is dangerous, and that's why they're just trying to get as much of it out there as they can before they're finally held accountable. Sadly, we've seen all this before. We saw it with big tobacco, we saw it with leaded gas, and every single case, the big corporations did what they always do. They lied, and when they paid off politicians and they paid scientists and they silenced people and discredited them, and sadly they did get away with a lot of it. And that's why we need to make sure that 5G doesn't happen. Now, what is the difference between 5G and 4G? There are several differences between 5G, 4G, and 5G. Consider there are already who are many struggling with electromagnetic hypersensitivity, saturating cities and urban areas with additional frequency, radio frequency will only add to this more rare affliction. One of the significant problems with the technology is that it relies primarily on millimeter waves, which is known to penetrate human tissue up to 2 millimeters, where it is absorbed by the surface of the cornea and is conducted by sweat glands within the skin. Each of these factors lead to an association with a number of potential health problems. For example, the US Department of Defense using millimeter wave in crowd control weapons called the active denial system because it produces a severe burning sensation. The Department of Defense writes, the active denial system generates a focused and very directed millimeter wave frequency beam. MMW is also known to suppress your immune function and increase cellular stress, harmful free radicals, learning deficits, and potential bacterial antibiotic resistance. There's nothing to suggest that 5G will produce less harm than the current technology, and there are thousands of studies demonstrating the harmful effects of that. So research, Martin Paul, PhD, details how excessive oxidative stress triggered by microwave exposure from the wireless technology can lead to reproductive harm and neurological disorders such as anxiety, autism, and Alzheimer's. Once it's installed in your neighborhood, you won't have a choice to opt out of 5G exposure because it's going to be saturating your body all the time. 5G will virtually be everywhere with the options of being able to simply getting away from being very limited as millions of small cell devices are rolled out. What you can do is mitigate certain things having to do with 5G. Now, identify the major sources of EMF in your home, such as your cell phone, cordless phones, Wi-Fi routers, Bluetooth headsets, and other Bluetooth-equipped items. Wireless mouse, keyboards, smart thermostats, baby monitors, smart meters, and a microwave in your kitchen. Ideally, address each source and determine how you can best limit their use. Also in the article it says, barring life-threatening emergency, children should not use a cell phone or a wireless device any type. Children are far more vulnerable to cell phone radiation than adults due to having thinner skull bones and a developing immune system and brains. Research also demonstrates that infants under the age of 1 do not effectively learn language from videos and do not transfer what they learn from the iPad to the real world. So it's a mistake to think electronic devices provide valuable educational experiences. Folks, they do not. Also, connect your desktop computer to internet via Ethernet connection, if possible. If you must use Wi-Fi, shut it off when not in use, especially at nighttime. Avoid using wireless chargers for your cell phone. Shut off electricity to your bedroom. Use a battery power pack alarm clock, not electrical. And avoid using smart appliances and thermostats that depend on wireless signaling. This including smart TVs, as they emit a Wi-Fi signal, and unlike your computer, they cannot shut the Wi-Fi signal off. Consider using a large computer monitor as your TV instead. They don't emit Wi-Fi. Refuse a smart meter on your home as long as you can, or add a shield onto existing smart meter. Consider moving your baby's bed to your room instead of using a wireless baby monitor. Avoid carrying your cell phone on your body unless in airplane mode, and never sleep with it in your bedroom unless it is in airplane mode. Even in airplane mode, it can emit signals, which is why I put the phone in a Faraday bag. That's a special bag that prevents electrical signals coming from it. When using your cell phone, use your speakerphone and hold the phone at least 3 feet away. To seek to radically decrease your time on the cell phone instead. Avoid using your cell phone on your devices at least 1 hour, prefer several hours before bed, as the blue light from the screen and EMFs both inhibit melatonin production. If you use your phone, make sure you have the blue light filters activated and have it in dark mode. The effects of EMFs are reduced by calcium. The effects of EMFs are reduced by calcium channel blockers, so make sure you're getting enough magnesium. Most people are deficient in magnesium, which will worsen the impact of EMFs. Raising your level of NRF2 may help ameliorate EMF damage. And NRF2 is a specific channel, folks, in your body, and actually our Aalere bracelet activates this NRF2 pathway, and I will show you with some future slides here. One simple to activate NRF2 is consume NRF2 boosting foods, such as cruciferous vegetables and fermented foods and beverages. And also, the consumption of our youth crystals will increase the NRF2 pathway. Celebration youth crystals. Exercise, calorie restrictions, intermittent fasting, and activating the nitric oxide signaling pathway. One way of doing that is the nitric oxide dump exercise. I wanted to share this with you, this article. I thought it was kind of important. Now, in relation to our Aalere bracelet, remember I said that it activates the NRF2 pathway. Well, let's see what else it does. This is the result of the smart meter next to this poor little tree. See what happens to that tree's genome? This is what happens. We're low. It causes a clumping of your red blood cells. Red blood cells are very important for transporting oxygen to your brain, So what would you rather have, the left screen or the right screen transporting oxygen? I think the left screen is better. It also, this electromagnetic forces, they cause your cells to be non-concentric. A human cell is a balanced cell. When it meets radiation, it becomes imbalanced. Now, mitochondrial disease can cause a vast array of health concerns, including fatigue, weakness, metabolic strokes, seizures, cardiomyopathy, arrhythmias, developmental and cognitive disabilities, diabetes, impairment of hearing, vision, growth, liver, gastrointestinal, and kidney function. Now, this is what harmful EMF causes: the mutation of mitochondrial DNA. Mitochondria is the little energy cells in your body. Like, for example, we have two in the diagram here. You could have up to 5,000 of these little mitochondria in a heart cell. This is, we have also in our bracelet the frequency of hydrogen. And the hydrogen activates this NRF2 pathway, and this increases glutathione, which is a master antioxidant in your body that your liver uses, catalase, and also superoxide dismutase. And glutathione is one of the major endogenous, that means produced by the body, antioxidants, and is produced by the liver. It neutralizes free radicals and reactive oxygen compounds in phase 2 of liver detox, as well as maintaining exogenous, that means those things that you consume from outside your body, such as vitamin C and vitamin E. This is a live blood cell analysis of what happened. Woody and Shelley, they're practitioners for decades of experience, sent this very kindly, thank you very much, from Canada to us. And you see the rouleau. This is the Aalere bracelet. This is the before the rouleau happened, and then it starts to separate. And then the next slide is even more separation, and the final third slide on the bottom is, I think it's a minute later. You see the Aalere bracelet within 5 minutes causes this reaction in your body. Also, the Aalere bracelet reduces inflammatory processes in your body. You see the upper chest on the left-hand side, and then it's reduced the radiation even on the back, especially along the spinal column. You see how that radiation inflammatory process is reduced. The knees, around the knees, you see the inflammatory process and how the inflammatory process were reduced by wearing a Aalere bracelet. Now, we did before and after with my doctor, Dr. Brad Thompson. He's age 57, and he was able to. This is a strength test for how strong you can close your fists, right? So this strength test with the dynamometer. He pulled without the bracelet 110 pounds, and then after he did 120 pounds. So this is a 9% improvement. I tested it on myself. I'm now 68 years old, and I had a 14% improvement in my strength using the Aalere bracelet. Folks, this is the Aalere bracelet. It comes in 2 different styles, and both of these are adjustable. So I'd really recommend you guys share this video with people who you like and love, and share it far and wide for those people who you think you could help with our protocol, because it's a very, very important. And I have personal friends of mine who, because of the bracelet, have remained very, very healthy, very, very healthy, and in spite of everything. They're really healthy individuals. One person had a pain level of, it was 11 out of 10 for his back. And using the youth crystals and the Aalere bracelet, when he combined those two, that pain level went down to 2. And now he's telling all his friends about it. It's quite amazing. Some people are very susceptible for EMF and RF, and especially for those people. I mean, everybody needs this protection. Everybody needs to be wearing this. This bracelet is so powerful that I cannot even wear it at nighttime because it has too much energy in it. I just wear mine during the day. So please share this information with everybody, and thank you. I'm going to be shutting the recording off here now.